Human nature is a force that drives our thoughts, behaviors, and interactions, often in ways we do not fully recognize. By understanding it, we gain insight into why people act the way they do, allowing us to navigate social situations with greater awareness and control. Robert Greene introduces the laws of human nature as a framework for deciphering human behavior and mastering relationships, whether in personal life, business, or power dynamics. Law 1, the law of irrationality. Master the emotional self. One of the greatest illusions people live under is the belief that they are rational beings, making decisions based purely on logic and reason. However, emotions dictate much of human behavior, often leading to impulsive decisions and irrational actions. When emotions such as fear, envy, or desire take control, they cloud judgment, leading to self-destructive choices. The key to overcoming this tendency is self-awareness, recognizing when emotions influence thinking and learning to step back, analyze situations objectively, and make decisions based on long-term reasoning rather than immediate emotional impulses. This law emphasizes the importance of emotional intelligence, teaching individuals to detach from emotional turmoil and observe situations with a clear, rational mind. Law 2, the law of narcissism, transforms self-love into empathy. At the core of human behavior lies self-interest. Every person sees the world through the lens of their own desires, insecurities, and self-image. Narcissism is not just a trait found in extreme personalities but a spectrum that exists in everyone to some degree. While self-love can be beneficial, unchecked narcissism blinds people to the needs and perspectives of others, making relationships difficult to sustain. The solution is to shift focus outward, developing deep empathy by observing people's behaviors, listening to their concerns, and understanding their emotional needs. Those who master this law can influence others more effectively by appealing to their interests rather than their own. Law 3, the law of role-playing. See, people's masked society functions through deception. Every person wears a mask, presenting themselves in ways that conceal their true motives, insecurities, and emotions. People act in socially acceptable ways, hiding their real intentions behind carefully crafted personas. The danger lies in taking these masks at face value, assuming people always mean what they say. By developing the ability to see beyond appearances and detect hidden emotions, one can navigate relationships with greater skill, avoiding manipulation and understanding the true motivations behind people's words and actions. At the same time, learning to present oneself strategically, adapting to different social environments while maintaining authenticity, can be a powerful tool for influence. Law 4, the law of compulsive behavior. Determine the patterns. Human behavior follows patterns. People unconsciously repeat the same actions, reactions, and mistakes throughout their lives due to deep-seated psychological tendencies formed in childhood. By identifying these patterns, one can predict how individuals will respond in different situations, allowing for more strategic interactions. Recognizing one's own compulsions is equally crucial. Understanding how past experiences shape behavior enables self-improvement and personal growth. The ability to break negative patterns and consciously shape one's actions allows for greater control over life's outcomes. Law 5, the law of covetousness. Become an object of desire. Desire is driven not by what is readily available but by what is scarce, forbidden, or just out of reach. Human nature is wired to crave what it cannot easily have, leading to endless pursuits of status, power, love, or material wealth. Those who understand this principle can use it to their advantage by creating an aura of mystery and inaccessibility. The most influential figures in history mastered the ability to make themselves desired, whether by withholding their attention, maintaining an air of exclusivity, or strategically revealing just enough to intrigue others. However, those who chase too openly or make themselves too available often lose their power of attraction. Law 6, the law of short-sightedness. Elevate your perspective. Many people make decisions based on immediate gains, failing to see the long-term consequences of their actions. This short-sightedness leads to impulsive decisions, whether in business, relationships, or personal ambitions. The most successful individuals operate with a broader perspective, thinking years or even decades ahead. They anticipate obstacles, consider different perspectives, and avoid rash decisions based on temporary emotions. By cultivating patience and long-term vision, one gains the ability to shape their destiny rather than being at the mercy of circumstances. Law 7, the law of defensiveness, disarmed by confirming people's self-opinion. Criticism, no matter how constructive, often triggers defensiveness. People instinctively protect their self-image, resisting any attempts to change their beliefs or behaviors. The more one tries to impose a viewpoint through argument or confrontation, the more resistance they encounter. Instead, the key to influencing others lies in subtle persuasion, affirming their self-opinion while guiding them toward new perspectives. By making people feel understood and respected, their natural resistance lowers, allowing for genuine influence and change. Law 8, the law of self-sabotage. Change your attitude. Attitude shapes reality. People who see the world through a lens of negativity, doubt, or victimhood often attract failure and misfortune, whereas those who approach life with confidence, optimism, and resilience create opportunities for success. The way one perceives challenges, setbacks, and failures determines their outcomes. By shifting perspective, viewing obstacles as opportunities, setbacks as learning experiences, and criticism as constructive, one can break free from self-sabotaging tendencies and cultivate a mindset of growth and success. Human interactions are shaped by an underlying struggle for influence and control. Whether in personal relationships, business, or social settings, those who understand the subtle dynamics of power gain an advantage over those who remain unaware. By mastering the deeper laws of human nature, one can navigate social landscapes with skill, avoiding manipulation while strengthening their ability to lead, persuade, and inspire. Law 9, the law of repression. Confront your dark side. Every individual has a hidden side to their personality, emotions, desires, and impulses that are repressed due to societal expectations or personal fears. This darker side of human nature, often referred to as the shadow self, does not disappear simply because it is ignored. Instead, it manifests in unexpected ways, through sudden outbursts, passive-aggressive behavior, or self-destructive tendencies. Those who fail to acknowledge and integrate their darker traits are more likely to be controlled by them. However, those who confront and understand their inner conflicts gain power over themselves. By recognizing the suppressed aspects of one's personality, one can harness this energy constructively rather than allowing it to erupt uncontrollably. Law 10, the law of envy. Beware the fragile ego. Envy is one of the most deeply ingrained emotions in human nature. People often resent those who achieve success, possess qualities they lack, or receive recognition they secretly crave. While few openly admit to feeling envy, it often manifests in subtle ways: passive aggression, backhanded compliments, or hidden attempts to sabotage others. One of the most dangerous aspects of envy is that it can turn allies into adversaries without warning. Recognizing the signs of envy in others allows for strategic avoidance of unnecessary conflicts. At the same time, one must be careful not to provoke envy unintentionally. The key is to present success in a way that does not threaten others, often by sharing credit, displaying humility, or subtly redirecting attention away from one's achievements. Law 11, the law of grandiosity. Control your ego. Success often breeds overconfidence. When individuals achieve a certain level of power, wealth, or recognition, they may begin to see themselves as invincible, leading to reckless decisions, alienation from others, and eventual downfall. Grandiosity blinds people to their weaknesses, making them overestimate their abilities and underestimate potential risks. History is filled with examples of powerful figures who rose to great heights only to fall due to unchecked arrogance. The antidote to grandiosity is self-awareness, remaining grounded, continuously learning, and surrounding oneself with individuals who provide honest feedback. Those who temper their ego with humility and adaptability maintain long-term success, while those who succumb to delusions of grandeur set themselves up for failure. Law 12, the law of gender rigidity. Embrace the opposite within society often imposes rigid expectations on individuals based on gender norms, encouraging men to suppress emotional sensitivity and women to downplay ambition or assertiveness. However, true power lies in embracing both masculine and feminine energies, regardless of one's gender. Those who integrate traits traditionally associated with the opposite gender gain a psychological advantage. They become more adaptable, emotionally intelligent, and persuasive. A leader who balances strength with empathy, or a strategist who combines intuition with logic, is far more effective than one who rigidly adheres to one mode of being. By cultivating psychological flexibility, one expands their influence and effectiveness in all aspects of life. Law 13, the law of aimlessness. Find a higher purpose. Many people drift through life without a clear sense of purpose, chasing short-term pleasures or external validation without a deeper guiding mission. This lack of direction often leads to dissatisfaction, anxiety, and a sense of emptiness. Those who develop a strong personal vision, however, gain a sense of fulfillment and inner stability. A purpose acts as a guiding force, shaping decisions, behaviors, and long-term strategies. Whether it is a professional ambition, a creative pursuit, or a mission to help others, having a higher goal provides motivation and resilience. The most influential figures in history were not simply driven by personal gain but by a cause greater than themselves. To cultivate long-term success, one must identify their deeper purpose and align their actions accordingly. Law 14, the law of conformity. Resist the group mind. Humans have a deep psychological need to belong, which often leads to conformity. People adopt the beliefs, behaviors, and attitudes of those around them, sometimes without realizing it. While social cohesion is necessary, blind conformity weakens individuality and critical thinking. The most successful individuals are those who recognize the power of group dynamics but maintain their ability to think independently. They resist the pressures of popular opinion and make decisions based on logic, observation, and long-term strategy rather than social validation. At the same time, they understand how to subtly influence group behavior rather than being influenced by it. Law 15, the law of fickleness. Learn to adapt to public perception. Public opinion is ever-changing. What is admired today may be criticized tomorrow, and those who rely too heavily on public validation often find themselves vulnerable. The key to maintaining influence is adaptability, understanding how social trends shift and knowing when to adjust one's image or strategy accordingly. However, true mastery lies in balancing adaptability with consistency. While it is important to evolve, one must not lose their core identity in the process. By remaining flexible while maintaining authenticity, one can navigate social landscapes effectively, avoiding the pitfalls of rigid thinking or excessive dependence on external approval. Law 16, the law of aggression. Recognize and neutralize hostile intent. While people often present themselves as cooperative and friendly, underlying tensions and power struggles exist in nearly all environments. Some individuals use passive-aggressive tactics, manipulation, or outright hostility to gain an advantage. Those who fail to recognize these dynamics may become victims of workplace politics, betrayal, or exploitation. Understanding aggression, both in oneself and others, allows for strategic responses. Instead of reacting emotionally to conflict, one must remain calm, assess the situation logically, and counteract threats through strategic action. Sometimes, the best response is subtle maneuvering, other times, direct confrontation is necessary. The key is to remain aware of power plays and respond with intelligence rather than impulse. Human relationships are built on layers of emotions, hidden intentions, and unspoken agreements. While people seek connection, love, and trust, they are also influenced by their own insecurities, desires, and past experiences. Those who fail to understand the deeper aspects of human behavior often struggle in personal and professional relationships. However, those who master the subtle dynamics of attraction, persuasion, and emotional intelligence can build stronger, more meaningful connections while protecting themselves from manipulation and deceit. Law 17, the law of generational myopia. See the shifts in human behavior. Each generation is shaped by the cultural, political, and technological forces of its time. People often assume that their way of thinking is universal, but every new generation develops its own values, beliefs, and priorities. Those who fail to recognize these shifts become out of touch with changing social landscapes, while those who understand generational differences gain a strategic advantage. Leaders, businesses, and influencers who anticipate these shifts remain relevant, adapting their message and strategies to resonate with evolving audiences. At the same time, understanding generational perspectives allows for better communication, avoiding misunderstandings that arise from differing worldviews. Law 18, the law of death denial. Accept mortality and live with purpose. One of the deepest fears in human nature is the fear of death. People avoid thinking about their mortality, distracting themselves with work, entertainment, or material pursuits. However, those who confront the reality of their limited time on Earth gain a profound advantage. Accepting mortality instills a sense of urgency, pushing individuals to pursue their true ambitions, take risks, and live authentically. Many of history's greatest figures, from philosophers to warriors, used their awareness of death as motivation to achieve greatness. Instead of fearing the inevitable, one must embrace it as a reminder to make each moment meaningful and pursue goals with intensity and purpose. Law 19, the law of false appearances. See beyond the surface. People often project an image that does not reflect their true selves. Some hide their insecurities behind confidence, while others use charm to mask hidden agendas. Those who take people at face value are easily deceived. To truly understand human nature, one must develop the ability to read between the lines, observing subtle cues such as body language, speech patterns, and micro-expressions. Lies and deception leave traces, and those who sharpen their perception can uncover hidden truths. At the same time, being aware of one's own projected image allows for more intentional control over how others perceive and respond. Law 20, the law of emotional contagion. Influence emotions subtly. Emotions are highly contagious. A person's mood, energy, and body language influence those around them, often without conscious awareness. Negative emotions, such as anxiety, anger, or insecurity, can spread through a group, lowering morale and creating conflict. Conversely, those who project confidence, enthusiasm, and calmness uplift others and naturally attract people to them. Understanding this law allows for greater influence in social settings. By consciously managing one's emotional state and projecting positivity, one can shape interactions, diffuse tension, and lead with charisma. Law 21, the law of the fragile ego. Handle people's insecurities with care. People are deeply sensitive to how they are perceived by others. Even the most confident individuals have insecurities, and those who feel their self-image is threatened often react with defensiveness, resentment, or aggression. Understanding this law allows for more skillful interactions. Instead of triggering resistance by challenging someone's self-perception directly, one must learn to guide them subtly. Making people feel valued, respected, and understood lowers their defenses, making them more open to influence. At the same time, one must be cautious of their own insecurities, ensuring they do not allow fragile self-esteem to cloud judgment or limit personal growth. Law 22, the law of grand narratives. Craft compelling stories. Humans are wired to respond to stories. Throughout history, leaders, brands, and influencers have used storytelling to inspire, persuade, and shape public opinion. People are drawn to narratives that give meaning to their experiences, whether in politics, religion, or personal development. Those who master the art of storytelling can shape how others perceive them, their work, and their ideas. Instead of presenting facts in a dry manner, one must learn to craft compelling narratives that evoke emotions, create a sense of purpose, and align with people's deeper psychological needs. Law 23, the law of reputation management. Guard and shape your image. Reputation is one of the most valuable assets a person can have. In a world where perception often determines opportunities, those who fail to manage their image risk being misunderstood, discredited, or undermined. The most successful individuals carefully shape how they are seen by others, ensuring that their strengths are highlighted while weaknesses remain less visible. However, reputation must be built on authenticity. Those who attempt to fabricate an image that contradicts reality are eventually exposed. By consistently aligning actions with values and maintaining integrity, one can cultivate a reputation that commands respect and opens doors to new opportunities. Law 24, the law of seductive influence. Master the subtleties of attraction. Attraction is not merely about physical appearance, it is a psychological force driven by mystery, emotional connection, and the perception of value. Whether in romantic relationships, business, or social interactions, those who understand the principles of attraction gain a powerful advantage. The key lies in creating intrigue, maintaining an air of unpredictability, and engaging in playful yet meaningful exchanges. Those who seek to be overly available or transparent often lose their allure, while those who master subtlety and timing heighten desire and interest. Understanding this law allows for deeper connections and more persuasive interactions in all aspects of life. Law 25, the law of psychological leverage. Gain the upper hand in negotiations. In negotiations, power does not always belong to the person with the most resources or authority, it belongs to the person who understands human psychology. Those who can read emotions, anticipate responses, and subtly guide conversations have the greatest influence. The key to mastering negotiations lies in patience, strategic silence, and the ability to frame discussions in a way that aligns with the other person's interests. Instead of demanding what one wants outright, it is often more effective to make the other person feel as though the decision benefits them. By mastering psychological leverage, one can turn seemingly unfavorable situations to their advantage. The ability to influence others, make strategic decisions, and maintain long-term success requires a deep understanding of human nature. While some people rise quickly in power only to fall due to miscalculations, those who take a measured, strategic approach build lasting influence. Mastery over human nature involves anticipating problems, reading subtle cues, and making decisions that align with one's long-term vision. In this section, we will explore the deeper psychological and strategic elements of leadership, power, and personal growth. Law 26, the law of defensive perception. Anticipate and counteract attacks. In any position of influence, criticism, attacks, and resistance are inevitable. Many people react impulsively when confronted with opposition, either by becoming defensive or launching counterattacks. However, the most effective strategy is not to react emotionally but to anticipate opposition before it arises. By understanding how others perceive you and identifying potential threats in advance, you can neutralize problems before they escalate. Strategic thinking involves controlling one's image, preparing counterarguments, and turning adversaries into allies when possible. Instead of engaging in unnecessary battles, one must learn to redirect attacks, diffuse hostility, and maintain control over situations. Law 27, the law of unconscious desires. Understand the hidden motivations of others. People are often unaware of their deepest desires, but these unconscious drives shape their decisions, behaviors, and relationships. Understanding what truly motivates individuals, whether it be status, recognition, security, or love, allows for greater influence over them. Instead of appealing to logic alone, one must learn to tap into these deeper emotional needs. Skilled leaders, negotiators, and influencers recognize these hidden desires and frame their messages accordingly. Those who ignore this law struggle to persuade others, as they fail to address the psychological forces that drive human behavior. Law 28, the law of strategic patience. Play the long game. Many people seek immediate rewards, acting impulsively in pursuit of success. However, true mastery requires patience, long-term vision, and the ability to delay gratification. Those who rush into opportunities without careful planning often find themselves trapped by unforeseen consequences. On the other hand, those who take a slow, strategic approach, observing, adapting, and waiting for the right moment, gain a significant advantage. In leadership, business, and personal development, long-term thinking separates those who build lasting success from those who burn out quickly. Law 29, the law of subtle power. Influence without forcing control. Many believe that power comes from force, commands, or dominance. However, the most effective leaders and influencers operate through subtlety. Instead of demanding compliance, they guide others through suggestion, indirect influence, and psychological framing. By making others feel as though they are acting of their own free will, they achieve far greater results than those who attempt to control people directly. This law applies to negotiations, leadership, and social interactions. Those who master it create an aura of effortless influence. Law 30, the law of social gravity. Cultivate an attractive presence. Just as planets exert gravitational pull, people with strong personal presence naturally attract others. This presence is not about physical appearance alone but about energy, confidence, and the ability to command attention. Those who develop a magnetic presence inspire loyalty, admiration, and trust. They do so by mastering body language, voice modulation, and emotional intelligence. Instead of seeking attention desperately, they allow their presence to draw people in naturally. Cultivating this trait makes one more influential in leadership, business, and personal relationships. Law 31, the law of controlled emotions. Remain calm under pressure. In high-stakes situations, emotions can cloud judgment and lead to poor decisions. Those who master their emotions maintain clarity, even in the face of chaos. Instead of reacting impulsively to provocations, they pause, assess the situation, and respond strategically. Leaders who display emotional control command greater respect and make better decisions. This law teaches that emotional discipline is not about suppressing feelings but about channeling them productively. By staying composed, one can navigate conflicts, negotiations, and crises with skill. Law 32, the law of strategic detachment. Avoid emotional attachments in decision-making. Many people make decisions based on emotions, personal biases, or attachments. However, those who detach themselves from emotional influences think more clearly and make better strategic choices. This does not mean being cold or unfeeling, it means developing the ability to step back and view situations objectively. When dealing with business, relationships, or conflicts, removing personal emotions from decision-making prevents costly mistakes. The most effective leaders remain emotionally aware but do not allow emotions to control their actions. Law 33, the law of psychological maneuvering. Turn obstacles into opportunities. Challenges and setbacks are inevitable. However, the most successful individuals do not see obstacles as roadblocks, they view them as opportunities for strategic maneuvering. Instead of resisting problems head-on, they adapt, finding ways to use challenges to their advantage. This law teaches that setbacks often contain hidden opportunities for growth, repositioning, or creative problem-solving. Those who master this skill develop resilience and gain an edge over those who are easily discouraged by difficulties. Law 34, the law of power cycles. Recognize the rise and fall of influence. Nothing in life remains static. Power, influence, and success move in cycles. What rises will eventually decline, and what falls has the potential to rise again. Those who fail to recognize these cycles are caught off guard when fortunes change. However, those who anticipate shifts in power prepare accordingly. They know when to advance and when to retreat, when to assert dominance and when to remain in the background. By understanding this rhythm, one can maintain longevity in leadership, business, and personal influence. Law 35, the law of self-renewal. Continuously evolve to maintain power. Stagnation leads to decline. Many individuals, once they achieve a certain level of success, become complacent and stop evolving. However, those who maintain power continuously reinvent themselves. They learn new skills, expand their networks, and remain adaptable to change. Instead of clinging to outdated strategies, they embrace innovation and personal growth. This law teaches that mastery is an ongoing process. Those who stop learning and evolving ultimately fall behind. Mastering human nature is not just about understanding others, it is about mastering oneself. Those who lack self-awareness, discipline, or a deeper sense of purpose are easily swayed by external influences. However, those who cultivate self-mastery gain true freedom. They are no longer controlled by emotions, societal pressures, or unconscious habits. Instead, they operate with intention, wisdom, and an unwavering commitment to growth. The final part of this audiobook summary explores the ultimate principles of self-mastery, the path to personal fulfillment, and how to leave a lasting impact. Law 36, the law of self-sabotage. Avoid the patterns that lead to failure. Many people unknowingly create their own downfall by repeating destructive patterns. Whether it's procrastination, fear of success, or self-doubt, these behaviors undermine potential. Recognizing self-sabotaging tendencies is the first step to overcoming them. Those who master this law develop awareness of their own weaknesses and create strategies to counteract them. By breaking negative cycles and cultivating self-discipline, they remove internal barriers to success. Law 37, the law of adaptability. Embrace change and reinvention. Life is in constant motion. Those who resist change become stuck in outdated mindsets, while those who embrace adaptability continue to evolve. Successful individuals recognize when it is time to pivot, learn new skills, or adjust their strategies. This law teaches that flexibility is a strength. Those who remain open to change can thrive in any environment. Reinvention is not about abandoning one's core values but about expanding perspectives and staying relevant in an ever-changing world. Law 38, the law of the authentic self. Live in alignment with your true nature. Many people live according to external expectations, suppressing their true desires, talents, and personalities. However, those who achieve self-mastery embrace their authentic selves. They are not afraid to stand out, express their ideas, or follow unconventional paths. Instead of seeking approval, they cultivate self-confidence and inner validation. This law teaches that true fulfillment comes from aligning actions with one's deepest values and passions. Law 39, the law of higher purpose. Find meaning beyond material success. While many people chase wealth, status, or validation, true fulfillment comes from a sense of purpose. Those who dedicate themselves to a cause greater than themselves experience deeper satisfaction and resilience. This purpose may be found in creative work, social impact, leadership, or personal development. By shifting focus from self-centered goals to contributions that benefit others, individuals create legacies that extend beyond their lifetime. Law 40, the law of ultimate mastery. Cultivate lifelong growth and wisdom. Mastery is not a destination, it is a lifelong journey. Those who achieve greatness do not stop learning, evolving, or refining their skills. They continually push their limits, seek knowledge, and challenge themselves to improve. This law teaches that the highest level of success is not about external rewards but about personal growth, wisdom, and the ability to navigate life with clarity. Those who commit to lifelong mastery leave a lasting impact, inspiring others through their actions, knowledge, and character. Conclusion: the path to true power. Understanding and mastering human nature is the key to success in relationships, leadership, and personal growth. While many operate blindly, reacting to emotions, societal expectations, and external pressures, those who apply these laws gain control over their lives. They develop emotional intelligence, strategic thinking, and the ability to influence others without manipulation. More importantly, they cultivate inner strength, resilience, and a deep sense of purpose. The journey of self-mastery is not about controlling others, it is about understanding human nature, avoiding common pitfalls, and unlocking one's full potential. Those who apply these principles will not only achieve greater success but also live with purpose, clarity, and influence.